How's it going, family? So today I want you to invite people in. I want you to make sure to jump on the channel today. Today I have a very, very good topic that I wanted to talk about, and it's going to be in regards to sowing and reaping and your season of creating as a Christian entrepreneur. It's very important that as Christian believers, we understand that there's multiple seasons, and those seasons are important to every element of your growth. No season is not important, just like the seasons in the winter, summer, spring, and fall. We have to condition our mindsets to understanding that we too have seasons of prospering, of harvesting, of sowing and reaping. So today I just wanted to go around and let everybody come in and comment and like and subscribe. I really wanted to bring this up today because I too have been going through these seasons and just letting everybody come in really quick. Yes, yes, come on in. Okay. So, the biggest thing that I realized as a Christian entrepreneur is that not only that is my mindset important, but my sowing and reaping is important. And what does that mean? That just means that understanding that harvesting and planting good seeds takes effort, that the longevity of having something overnight or this unrealistic expectation is not going to be is it's not going to happen. And when we just have to understand that it's not going to happen. I know as a entrepreneur, I sometimes have a mindset like how something's going to play out, and when it doesn't play out that way, I am I'm distraught or I'm worried. And these are all the things that the enemy tries to provoke onto us. So that means a shifting in consciousness of fear, of worry. And today I want to show you the importance of planting and harvesting in a productive way. So the first question I got from someone was, as a Christian entrepreneur, is it hard for you to stay in a relationship in your harvesting season? And I wanted to answer this question. This was from Sarah9221. She reached out to me, and I think this is an amazing question. So, Sarah, I'm going to answer your question to this, and it's basically, to me as a woman and as a Christian entrepreneur, I think that if you don't have someone on the same plane, meaning mindset, it can be very challenging, definitely in your harvesting season. And we're going to look at the definition of harvesting. And the reason why I do this, because God says words are important. They're not more important than him, but when we look at the linguistics of words and we look at what they mean, and there is a culture right now of laziness. We use a lot of adjectives. We use a lot of slang. We yeah, there's this instant. So we're gonna look up the word harvest. So let's look at this definition. It says the process or the period or gathering and crops. Okay. So harvesting, harvest, when you are harvesting something, when you are cultivating something, when you are creating something. So, first of all, we have our Heavenly Father creating dominion with us. But most importantly, we have our own factor into that creation with our belief, with our actions, with our creativity, and with our imagination. So harvest, the process or period of gathering and crops. So we're not going to take that very literal, but we're going to take it and dissect it to cultivating, creating something, etc. Right? So what that means to me is a relationship. If you're an entrepreneur and you are creating something and you're in a relationship and that person is not on the same playing field for you, could the relationship work? So Sarah was like, do you feel that, how do you feel about that? And I feel for myself, I feel for myself that, and I want to take my time answering this question. I I've dated, and I've dated being successful, and I've dated when I was in the building stages. Now, when I was in the building stages, I think it was more funner because I was able to have more attentive time to my mate. But when you're very disciplined, and instead of going out and maybe hanging out with friends or socializing, you have to commit to your dream, your business, your passion project, whatever you may call it. And if you don't have someone playing on the same mindset or the capability as yours, it is very, very distracting. Not only is it very distracting, it won't keep you, I'm going to use this word, evenly yoked. And it's very hard to continue to engage with something that you know that this person has no interest in or knowledge of. And it then becomes like, hey, I want to call somebody and have conversation about what I'm doing in my business, etc. But there's just not a high morale around it. So, I think that you have to be very careful with um, making sure, just making sure how things are transpiring. So, one of the things that I did is I sat down with a notebook and a piece of paper, like I have here, and I wrote out all the things I would look for in someone like myself. And instead, I think that we are kind of like playing with this imagination and playing with our creative skill with things. I think that it's very important that when you've gone through pain or suffering, it's time to now not do the same thing over and over, right? I mean, because then that becomes a little kind of crazy if you continue to do the same things over and over. So, to answer your question, Sarah, I really think that it's important to be very honest and transparent first with yourself. Know what you want. Know what you want. Don't be afraid of receiving what you want. But if you know what you want and you're accepting things that are not equivalent to what you really desire, you're wasting your time. Okay. You are wasting your time. And not only that, you're wasting that person's time. So why do we continue that? Well, it's because these seasons we're playing, we're growing, we're going after the things that we want, but it's uncomfortable. It's not going to always be, wow, this feels good. It's going to be uncomfortable. There's going to be seasons where you're going to feel like, whoa, I'm kind of scared to go after what I really want. Can I really attract what I really want? These are questions that I even had at that time. And now I'm not playing in that field anymore because I've tested it. I've played with it. And now I know that, whoa, I won't go after the things that I know I really don't want. Instead, I'm going to have patience, and I'm going to really find out what it is I really truly want. And then I'm going to get that. So thank you for your question, Sarah. Another question I got in the email is from John211 at gmail.com. He stated, how do you feel about when you've tried things over and over and you feel that you're not getting answers about them? What should you do in your business? Well, first, I believe in prayer. I believe that we should pray daily. I feel that scripture is there for us on a daily basis to give us new insight and new eyes and new vision on things. And I think it's highly, highly important. And I think that we should see when we're not getting the answers, pray for God to deliver us from things that may be a waste of our time. So, that is my answer to you. And I think that, some things that we think that we may want or need necessarily, if God continues to show us elements that it's not working out, it's just not working out. And that could be in business, that can be in friendships, that can be in relationships, that can be personally with yourself. If you have habits and you're not dropping those habits and something has to change, I have a video on the power of reinvention. So go watch that. That is also on YouTube. And I think that in the midst of everything, if something is not working out over and over and over, we have to do something different. Yeah. So, thank you guys for these questions because they are really, really, I just really love the fact that you guys are supporting this channel and that you guys are tuning in and staying connected with me. Um, the last question I'm going to bring up, I have from Marie. And Marie I don't have her email. So, hey, Marie. Okay, so Marie asked, how did you challenge in reinventing yourself and starting? Basically, she said she saw my video about my previous lifestyle and how I've basically transformed myself. Yeah, so, and that's perfect because, like, I was definitely planting and harvesting things. I knew who I wanted to be before I was her. And I think what happens is that you have to literally allow your old self to die. And I wasn't a bad person. I think it was more so just my environment was toxic. And I think that when your environment is toxic and you don't really have the proper family unit or anyone, you self-destruct. And I was a self-destructing person. I wasn't really hurting people. I was more so hurting myself. And then I would see people who had gone through things that were very inspirational and turned their lives around, or didn't like things about themselves. So I started to seek personal development. And then when I started to seek personal development, oh, I there was nothing you couldn't tell me. And I started to get more attracted to that, more attracted to that. And little do you know, I started to attract friends who were in the same area, in the same mindset, and wanting more for themselves. I think too, the spiritual maturity of wanting that, knowing that I could change, because I had decided to move away from everything I knew. And when I decided to do these things, I started to see in my life that it was paying off, that my environment had so much to do on my thinking. See, guys, a little do we know, it could be little cycles that keep you there because your environment is setting so much of a tone on what you think is correct. And so many of us are dealing with naysayers or unbelief or people who are just negative, right? And I think that a lot of it had an effect on me because I was around it. And little did I know, I knew who I wanted to be, and I knew the things that I was not good at. And I said, what can I do differently? Because I didn't like who I saw in the mirror. And now I love who I see because it's taking years, but it's definitely been rewarding, and anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. And especially with God, because God, he took and did the work on the internal. So buying new clothes, changing your hair, getting the fancy outfit, buying the house, buying the car, that is not going to do it. We have to do the spiritual work. We have to do the internal pruning of our spirit. So I think that that is the true element of really reaping and sowing. So mind you, you might see what you see here today, but I was reaping and sowing. I was sowing seeds 3-4 years ago. So the notion that I want to leave with you guys today is, even when you don't see the greenery, the fruit, keep sowing your seeds. Keep believing, keep going, keep planting, because the harvest is going to come. The season is going to come. It has no choice but not to come. You won't be where you are next year. 3 months from now. You won't. It's just a law. But what are you planting? Ask yourself, are you planting doubt? Are you planting fear? Are you planting prosperity? Are you taking the steps? Are you going into the places that you see yourself living, even if you know you can't get it today? But are you even challenging yourself to look at those things? You know, a lot of it is around our belief systems. So I really, really wanted you guys to remember it's not about where you've been, it's about where you're going. Okay. I'm going to end this video. I think that is enough for today. And I really, really love the fact that you guys had chimed in with me, sent me questions. Thank you. And shout out to you for just supporting my page, just supporting and being a member with us. I will be doing a video again this Saturday with Proverbs Believers, our book club. We're meeting again this Saturday. So tune into that. And other than that, be well, be great, and be kind to yourself. And remember, 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 walk by faith and not by sight.